Have you ever had that feeling? Like a subtle, persistent tug, almost like a loose thread in the fabric of your everyday life.
Mm-hmm.
That quiet whisper suggesting that maybe, just maybe, what you see isn't quite the whole picture.
Yeah, that sense that something's just off.
Exactly. That deep, kind of unsettling intuition is exactly where our deep dive plunges in today. We're stepping into the groundbreaking, mind-bending world of The Matrix.
The iconic 1999 film.
Right. It didn't just screen a story. It really offered a new lens,
Right.
a new way to view existence itself.
Oh, absolutely. This isn't just a movie. It's a genuine cultural touchstone. It profoundly shaped how a whole generation thought about technology, philosophy, the very nature of perception, really.
So our deep dive today, we're drawing from a pretty comprehensive exploration of its story.
Right.
The themes, the legacy.
That's it. Our mission is basically to pull out the most potent insights from this, well, revolutionary piece of cinema.
Yeah.
We want to guide you beyond just the thrilling plot to really uncover its profound impact, and I think, importantly, the fundamental questions it raises that even decades later still resonate so strongly.
And I am genuinely thrilled to get into this with you.
Oh.
We're not just like revisiting a beloved movie. We're going to unpack some truly iconic moments.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe dive into some behind-the-scenes stuff, explore interpretations that might surprise you, even if you've seen it, a dozen times.
Yeah, prepare to have your understanding maybe expanded a bit.
Hopefully.
And it's really crucial to remember that The Matrix is way more than just an action spectacle. I mean, it is spectacular.
Oh, for sure.
But it's this masterful synthesis of cutting-edge visual innovation, pulse-pounding action, and these deeply profound philosophical concepts, all wrapped into one cohesive, unforgettable experience. It truly redefined what cinema could even do.
Okay, so let's unschool this. Let's go right back to the beginning. The Matrix just bursts onto the scene in 1999.
Yeah.
The brainchild of the Wachowskis, visionary directors, wrote it too. And that cast, phenomenal.
Oh, unforgettable performances. Keanu Reeves as Neo, obviously.
Lawrence Fishburne as Morpheus. That gravitas.
Carrie-Anne Moss as Trinity, so fierce, so mysterious.
And Hugo Weaving.
Yeah.
Chillingly precise as Agent Smith.
Absolutely. And you're right. From the moment it premiered, this film just hit differently. It wasn't just another sci-fi movie. It felt like an event, a phenomenon.
Yeah, it really did.
And a big part of that, I think, what immediately set it apart was its audacious, seamless blending of different traditions, cinematic, philosophical.
So?
Well, on one hand, it totally embraced and frankly evolved the cyberpunk aesthetic.
Right. That gritty, futuristic look.
Exactly. The kind of dystopian urban landscapes, advanced tech everywhere, shadowy control, people plugged into digital interfaces.
Slick streets, trench coats.
Digital rain, yeah. That whole vibe, it really pulled heavily from stuff like William Gibson's Neuromancer, but brought that specific flavor to a huge mass audience.
It was more than just the look, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It set a whole tone, a whole mood.
Precisely.
Right.
And then it masterfully interwove those visuals with these incredibly deep philosophical themes, ideas that honestly hadn't really been explored with that kind of mainstream accessibility or, frankly, visual flair before.
Things usually stuck in textbooks suddenly exploding on screen.
Right, engaging millions. But then beyond the concepts, you had the visual effects. And they weren't just effects, they were genuinely revolutionary.
Bullet time.
Bullet time. The camera seemingly moving around a character frozen in action, bullets crawling past. It was achieved through these really innovative techniques. Multiple cameras, motion interpolation, super advanced for the time.
And it just changed everything.
It absolutely redefined what audiences thought was possible in a film. It irrevocably altered the landscape of action cinematography, no question.
It's hard to really overstate its influence, isn't it? It quickly went beyond just being a film. It became this global cultural phenomenon. It didn't just redefine cinematic storytelling. It created a whole new visual language, a new thematic vocabulary that you saw influencing countless films, TV shows, video games.
Fashion, even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even just how people talked about reality itself. It resonated on so many different levels.
It really did. It gifted popular culture this whole new lexicon for discussing really profound ideas. Phrases and concepts from the film just seeped into everyday conversation.
Look, being red-pilled.
Exactly. Or there is no spoon. Or talking about manipulating a system like you're seeing the code.
Yeah.
These are all direct references to the film's massive influence on our collective understanding of reality, choice, control. It made complex philosophy accessible, even exciting in a way few things had before, or maybe even since.
Okay, so at the heart of this whole intricate story is our protagonist, Thomas Anderson.
Right.
By day, he's living this pretty mundane life, right? Computer programmer.
Well-mannered.
Yeah. But by night, completely different world. He's leading this intense double life as the notorious hacker Neo. And what drives him, what really gnaws at him, keeps him up scrolling through forums, is this persistent, unsettling question. What is the Matrix?
And what's critical about Neo's early state, I think, is that he isn't just like curious in an academic way. He's profoundly troubled.
Yeah, it feels deeper than curiosity.
It is. There's this deep, almost instinctual gnawing sense inside him that something is fundamentally wrong with the world. Just wrong.
A glitch.
A glitch, exactly. A pervasive unease he can't quite put his finger on. And that feeling fuels his relentless, sleepless nights, driving him to trawl the deepest corners of the internet, just desperately searching for answers, for any clue about this mysterious matrix that haunts him.
And that feeling, that deep-seated unease, that yearning for something more, it's incredibly relatable, isn't it?
Oh, definitely.
That sense of maybe a veil over reality or a nagging suspicion there's a deeper truth just beyond the surface. We've all probably at some point felt that pull, right? That search for meaning beyond the everyday stuff.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's this universal human thing, this existential itch, and that's what immediately connects you, the viewer, to Neo's journey, even before all the really fantastical stuff kicks in.
It grounds it.
Completely. This relatability is key because it anchors what becomes this truly wild, mind-bending journey in a very human, very universal quest. It makes Neo's desperate search feel like an extension of our own curiosity about, what is all this? It makes the extraordinary feel weirdly personal.
And this is where the plot really starts moving, takes its first truly captivating turn. Neo's relentless online search, driven by that feeling, leads him to that phrase, the Matrix, and then almost like emerging from the digital ether itself, he gets contacted.
By Trinity.
By Trinity, yeah. This mysterious, legendary hacker. She's like a myth in the hacker community, right?
Yeah.
Enigmatic, powerful, and her message is just chillingly direct.
You've been looking for me.
Yeah. And you're being watched, Neo, and answers are imminent. Goosebumps.
The intrigue around Trinity in these initial moments is just palpable. She's not just some contact in a chat room. She's like a harbinger.
Yeah, a real link.
A tangible link to the answers Neo desperately needs. Her message, so cryptic but urgent, immediately escalates everything for Neo and for us watching. The anticipation, the urgency, it just ramps up.
She's the first real breadcrumb.
Exactly. The first tangible thread of that rabbit hole Morpheus will talk about later. Her presence turns Neo's abstract quest into something concrete, an immediate threat. The possibility of some profound, unsettling truth suddenly feels terrifyingly real.
But, okay, before he can even really process that or meet Morpheus, he gets thrown into this terrifying confrontation.
Ambush,
yeah. Captured by these mysterious, almost spectral figures, the agents.
Representing the system.
And they're led by the chillingly precise, incredibly unsettling Agent Smith.
Hugo Weaving, just brilliant.
And Smith doesn't just capture Neo. Yeah. He tries to break him, psychologically coerce him into betraying Morpheus, who they see as this dangerous terrorist.
Yeah, this encounter with Smith is absolutely pivotal, for a few reasons. Smith's coldness, that almost detached demeanor.
Unnervingly calm.
Right. Combined with his early, almost effortless display of power. How he just materializes seems to ignore physics. His certainty, it immediately establishes him as the primary antagonist.
He's the face of the system.
He is the system, embodied. A program designed to be the oppressive force maintaining the status quo inside the Matrix. And the psychological pressure he puts on Neo in that interrogation.
The bug scene.
The bug scene. His calm certainty as he implants that tracking device, it totally foreshadows the true, pervasive nature of the control that gets revealed later. He feels omnipresent, almost omniscient, like a force of nature designed to stop any deviation, any crack in the simulation. He makes the abstract threat feel profoundly personal and menacing.
Thankfully, just when it looks really bad, Neo gets dramatically rescued by Trinity.
Showing off her skills.
Absolutely. And she takes him to meet Morpheus. And this, I think for so many people, this is the moment the film cements its place in history.
The choice.
The choice. Morpheus, this figure of just profound wisdom, enigmatic presence. He presents Neo with perhaps the most pivotal, iconic choice in all of film. The blue pill or the red pill?
It's more than just a plot device, isn't it? It's a philosophical proposition laid bare, a direct challenge to our own assertions about reality and choice.
That's
Yes.
doing.
And Morpheus's words, legendary now, etched into our consciousness. He says, verbatim, you take the blue pill, the story ends, you wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe.
Chills every time.
You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Those lines are just incredibly powerful because they distill this huge, complex choice into something so simple, yet utterly profound. It goes beyond the film itself.
Precisely. The blue pill represents, the path of comfortable ignorance. Staying in the illusion.
Believing what you want to believe.
Exactly. Staying blissfully unaware of the underlying, often harsh, truth. Retreating into your preconceived reality, however artificial, is the path of least resistance. Peace in ignorance. But the red pill.
The red pill signifies a painful, often disorienting, but ultimately liberating truth. It's a journey into the unknown, facing a reality far harsher than you can imagine.
It promises enlightenment, but it demands you abandon everything comfortable.
Everything, all prior assumptions. And it's a choice, that countless viewers have felt they face in their own lives, metaphorically speaking. Comforting lies versus uncomfortable truths. Conformity versus the often painful path to real knowledge. It resonates so deeply because it taps into that innate human curiosity, that struggle with cognitive dissonance.
Neo, of course, takes the red pill. And what happens next is just one of the most visceral, shocking reveals ever put on film.
Yeah, his reality literally melts, dissolves into green code.
And then he wakes up, bald, naked, weak, extracted from this fluid-filled pod.
But it's the wider view that's truly horrifying.
Oh, God, yeah. This vast, desolate, mechanical world, endless fields of human bodies in pods, being harvested, not as workers, but as an energy source, by machines.
The sheer shock of that reveal is immense. For Neo and for everyone watching, it's not just a different reality, it's a brutal, dystopian nightmare.
The scale of it. The human battery farms, the bleakness of the real world, no sun. It contrasts so sharply with the familiar world he just left.
It's designed to be deeply unsettling, to viscerally hammer home the stakes, the horrific truth of humanity's subjugation. It cements the existential horror at the core of the story.
It leaves you breathless, just thinking,
Yeah.
So what does this all mean? How did humanity get here? Reduced to organic batteries.
Right. And he's rescued from that horror by Morpheus' ship, the Nebuchadnezzar.
This rugged hovercraft navigating the real-world ruins.
And it's on board that ship that Neo finally learns the full horrifying truth.
Which is?
The truth is, as you said, absolutely chilling. Morpheus reveals that the world Neo knew, his entire existence, was a computer-generated illusion, a fully immersive, meticulously constructed simulated reality. The Matrix.
Created by machines.
Created and maintained by intelligent machines. And its core, insidious purpose is twofold. Control and pacify humans, keep their minds docile, unaware.
While their real bodies are in those pods.
Exactly. Kept alive, contained in those vast fields, unknowingly generating power. It's the ultimate terrifying form of societal control. A digital prison where minds are trapped in a curated dream world, feeding a mechanical overlord.
It just forces you to question everything, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How can you trust your senses if reality itself can be simulated so flawlessly? It immediately brings up those old philosophical thought experiments.
It does, profoundly. If we connect this to the bigger philosophical picture, the Matrix directly challenges our fundamental understanding of perception, of existence itself. It basically popularized what we now call simulation theory.
The idea that our reality could be a simulation.
Yeah, which isn't new, philosophically. It dates back centuries. Think Plato's allegory of the cave.
Prisoners mistaking shadows for reality.
Right. Or René Descartes' evil demon, maybe creating a perfect illusion of the external world. The Matrix took these complex, abstract ideas and brought them into the mainstream with stunning visuals and a thrilling story. It made people seriously wonder, could our reality be a fabrication? A question still debated today in science and philosophy.
And the backstory of how humanity ended up there, enslaved as batteries. It's equally grim. A real warning about unchecked tech.
It's a truly brutal history. We learn the real world was devastated by this desperate war between humans and the intelligent machines they created.
AI gone wrong.
Terribly wrong. In a final desperate move, humans scorched the sky, tried to cut off the machine's solar power, plunged the Earth into perpetual twilight.
Wow.
But the machines, being incredibly intelligent, adapted. They found an alternative energy source, humans themselves, cultivating them in those horrific farms, trapping their minds in the matrix to keep them docile and generate the bioelectrical power they needed.
It's a grim, almost poetic consequence. Humanity's hubris leading to subjugation by their own creations.
It's a haunting vision.
That imagery of a world without sun, perpetual darkness. Such a stark reminder of what humanity did and their current predicament. It really illustrates the desperation.
And that leads us to Zion. Morpheus and his crew, Trinity, Neo. The others, they're part of Zion.
The last human city.
The last human city in the real world. A defiant stronghold hidden deep beneath the scorched earth. A literal beacon of hope against the machines.
And on their mission.
Their crucial mission: hack into the Matrix, use sophisticated interfaces to find and unplug minds other people who feel that same itch Neo felt, that sense something's wrong. They're fighting this clandestine, desperate war against the machines and their agents.
And the agents aren't human.
No, not biological. They're highly advanced, sentient programs, designed specifically to keep order inside the simulation, suppress anomalies, stop anyone waking up or escaping.
It really is this incredible underground rebellion, isn't it? Like a digital resistance.
Totally. These elite, almost super heroic figures, constantly jumping between the harsh reality of their world and the hyper-real simulation. Each crew member has a role: pilot, operator, fighter, all dedicated to liberating others, risking everything.
Zion is the symbol of defiance.
The ultimate symbol of human resilience. And the agents, especially Smith, are fascinating antagonists because they're not just physical threats. They are the system's will, the digital immune system.
And they can possess anyone still plugged in.
Which makes them ubiquitous, omnipresent, terrifying. Escape seems impossible. The threat feels constant. They are the ultimate enforcers of the status quo, relentlessly hunting anyone who threatens the illusion.
Despite these insane odds, Morpheus has this unwavering belief, this almost messianic faith that Neo is the one.
Yeah, the prophesied figure.
Someone who can manipulate the Matrix at will, end the war, free humanity. It's a huge burden, especially since Neo himself is initially like, me? No way.
Totally skeptical, unsure of his role, his abilities, yet Morpheus's faith never wavers.
Which brings up that whole destiny versus choice thing, right?
Exactly. That's a fascinating question at the heart of it all. How does destiny intersect with personal choice? Morpheus's belief sets up the classic chosen one story, but with this unique sci-fi twist.
Is Neo predestined? Or does Morpheus's faith plus Neo's choices and sacrifices actually make him the one?
It's a compelling dynamic. It underscores the film's philosophical depth, constantly exploring that tension between fate and free will. Neo's journey becomes a test not just of his abilities, but of his belief in himself, really ignited by Morpheus's conviction.
And to even start fulfilling this destiny, Neo goes through this intense, accelerated training.
Not your typical montage.
No way. He's immersed in simulated training programs inside the Matrix, learns martial arts, how to bend the rules of reality. It's a crash course in transcending limits.
And these training sequences are iconic for a reason. They set a new benchmark. Think about the dojo fight.
I know Kung Fu.
Right. Downloads it directly, then spars with Morpheus, showing off abilities he just got, or of course the rooftop bullet dodge. Neo arsing backward in slow-mo, defying gravity as bullets float past.
Mind-blowing.
Totally. And visually revolutionary thanks to that bullet time effect. But more importantly, they visually show us and Neo the true potential within the Matrix. The ability to bend or break its rules because it's a simulation. This is where Neo really starts grasping the implications, the power he might have.
Those scenes were just, wow. When the movie came out, and honestly, they still hold up. The creativity, the technical brilliance.
Oh, absolutely. The seamless blend of martial arts choreography with those revolutionary effects was unlike anything people had seen.
They established a whole new visual grammar for action, didn't they?
Completely. Showed that within the Matrix, physics were just suggestions. It allowed for insane creativity in fights, camera work, visual storytelling, left a huge mark on action films, video games, everything.
Throughout Neo's journey, his growing understanding, Agent Smith is just this relentless, terrifying presence.
Always there.
Revealed not just as a powerful program, but seemingly invincible. He and the other agents, with that terrifying ability to possess anyone, still plugged in.
Makes them omnipresent, formidable enemies.
Yeah.
And Smith's escalating obsession with Neo isn't just personal. It's crucial to the film's tension. He's not generic. He embodies the system's relentless, almost viral will to maintain control, eliminate any anomaly.
Like Neo.
Exactly. His chillingly calm, calculated manner combined with his power to pop up anywhere. It underscores the pervasive nature of the Matrix's control, the constant threat. His pursuit makes him the ultimate obstacle. Freedom has a massive cost.
And the stakes just ratchet up unbearably when, during a mission inside the Matrix, Morpheus gets captured.
The leader, the pillar.
Captured. The agents want the access codes to Zion's mainframe from him, which would mean game over for humanity.
Utterly irreversible doom.
So the crew back on the Nebuchadnezzar face this horrific choice, the utilitarian nightmare: kill Morpheus to protect Zion.
Sacrifice one for the many.
But Neo and Trinity, driven by this fierce conviction, loyalty, they refuse. They insist on a daring, seemingly suicidal rescue mission.
And what's fascinating there is the ethical weight of that moment, that classic dilemma. Right. But Neo and Trinity's decision to risk everything to save Morpheus, defying that cold logic of war, it highlights their courage, their loyalty, their belief in something more than just survival.
It drives the climax.
Exactly. It provides this powerful emotional beat, but also directly sets up the explosive confrontation, shows their evolution from hackers to true freedom fighters, tests their moral compass, their commitment.
And that rescue mission, it's not just a sequence, it's an absolute masterclass, one for the ages.
Agreed.
Neo and Trinity's assault on that government building, leading to some of the most iconic, game-changing action scenes ever.
A lobby shootout.
Impossible agility amidst bullets and debris.
Yeah.
The thrilling helicopter rescue.
Groundbreaking wirework and effects.
And Trinity's unforgettable mid-air slow-mo kick. All choreographed with this almost balletic grace, despite the intense violence.
The scale, impact, technical innovation, unprecedented for the time, still inspires awe. It wasn't just explosions. It was revolutionary visual effects, meticulous choreography. Changed action cinema forever.
Bullet time again.
Widely adopted after this. Profoundly altered how directors filmed action. These moments weren't just spectacle. They proved cinema's rules could be bent, just like the Matrix's rules. Created a new visual language for dynamic, impossible action.
They successfully rescue Morpheus, but the escape, not clean. Neo is relentlessly pursued by Smith, cornered, chased through the city.
The tension is unbearable.
And then, in a moment that just crushes all hope, seems to validate Neo's own doubts, he's shot.
Yeah.
Multiple times, point-blank range, and he dies.
It's the darkest point. Utter despair, profound loss. It brutally, seemingly disproves the prophecy Morpheus staked everything on.
Looks final.
Absolutely final. A gut-wrenching blow for the characters, for the audience, plunges the narrative into its lowest point, makes the fight seem impossible, humanity's future bleak. The emotional impact is immense.
But then, here's where it gets really interesting, profound even, where the film just transcends genre.
Yeah.
Back in the real world, Neo's lifeless in his pod on the Nebuchadnezzar. Trinity approaches his body, and in this moment of just raw vulnerability, unwavering faith, she whispers to him, tells him she loves him, that she believes, unequivocally, he is the one.
Wow.
And this belief, this declaration of love, miraculously, dramatically revives Neo. He's symbolically reborn, physically, spiritually, as the one.
That moment is so significant. Archetypal power. It's not just a convenient sci-fi trick. It's this profound transformation, spiritual awakening.
Love brings him back.
Trinity's raw emotion, her faith. It literally brings him back, signifying the power of human connection over cold logic or simulated reality. It solidifies that Messiah archetype for Neo. Shows his power isn't just ability, but belief, connection, self-realization, the transformative power of love, sacrifice. It elevates the story beyond action to something far more spiritual, philosophical, human.
And once he's reborn, resurrected, Neo is truly unleashed.
Fully awakened.
Fully awakened. He no longer sees the illusion. He sees the underlying structure, the green flowing code in real time, that iconic visual.
Yeah, it represents his heightened perception, his absolute control.
He can stop bullets mid-air, effortlessly, manipulate objects, and in the ultimate display of mastery, he effortlessly defeats Agent Smith.
Enters Smith's body.
Enters his body, destroys him from within, and act thought impossible, literally rewriting the Matrix's code.
It's the ultimate payoff for his whole journey. Seeing the code signifies complete mastery over the simulation. He sees the mechanics, the strings.
Not just the puppets.
Exactly. Defeating Smith isn't just winning a fight. It's a definitive statement of his power, his role as the one. His ability to transcend and override the rules that bound humanity. The moment he fully steps into that messianic role, A self-realized savior.
And the film leaves us with this incredibly powerful, open-ended promise, a vision of liberation.
Doesn't tie everything up neatly.
No. Back in the real world, Neo, fully embodying his purpose, sends a message back into the Matrix, a declaration. He promises to show people the truth, liberate minds from the illusion,
Yeah.
and that final, indelible image. Him soaring into the sky, effortlessly. Like a superhero, a potent symbol of a messiah figure rising to liberate minds, a beacon of hope.
It deliberately avoids simple closure, opens up vast possibilities for the characters, for us. His flight is this powerful metaphor for his new role, the hope he represents for everyone still trapped. It's a call to arms for anyone who feels that itch Neo felt, an invitation to question, wake up, see beyond the illusion, leaves you with potential, not just conclusion.
Okay, so beyond the breathtaking action, the groundbreaking visuals, the Matrix is revered for its profound philosophy, right? Woven right in. First and foremost, maybe most famously, it just relentlessly questions reality itself.
What is real? Can we trust our senses? Yeah.
That's the big one.
It really popularized simulation theory, thrust it from academic circles into mainstream global conversation, challenged audiences not just to watch, but to actively ponder their own reality. Could what feels tangible just be an elaborate construct?
Connects to those ancient philosophical questions.
Absolutely. Plato's cave, Zhuangzi's butterfly dream, Descartes' evil demon. The Matrix didn't just mention these, it brought them to life visually, thrillingly, made them accessible for millions, sparked widespread discussion about the fabric of existence that continues today.
It also functions as this potent societal critique, doesn't it? Focusing on control versus freedom.
Definitely. The system, the Matrix itself, represents overwhelming, pervasive societal control. And Neo's whole journey is fundamentally about breaking free from that engineered illusion.
Good allegory.
A powerful, multi-layered allegory for various forms of control. Not just physical prisons, but mental subjugation, governmental control of information, tech influences shaping our thoughts, even self-imposed limits. Societal norms we accept without question.
It vividly portrays that struggle for individual autonomy against this often unseen force.
And it resonates because it compels us to look at our own lives. How much control do we willingly give up for comfort, convenience, security? Often without realizing the chains we might be accepting, it asks, are we truly free or just comfortably unfree?
And on a more personal level, there's that theme of growth, awakening, enlightenment. The red pill isn't just plot. It symbolizes this radical awakening to truth, parallels philosophical religious concepts of enlightenment.
Indeed. Neo's transformation from Thomas Anderson to the One is a powerful exploration of self-discovery, personal enlightenment. His journey isn't just about freeing others, it's about his own consciousness evolving. From controlled slumber to true awareness, self-actualization, mastery of his reality, it's a compelling metaphor for any individual's quest for truth, breaking free from internal limits, realizing potential, deeply personal despite the epic scale.
The film also carries these incredibly powerful and, frankly, really prescient technological warnings, almost eerie about AI, losing control of our creations.
It truly is. Back in '99, AI was still largely theoretical for most people. Yet the film presented this terrifyingly vivid, plausible vision of machines gaining sentience, then dominance.
Versus to confront the ethics.
Exactly. The dangers of hubris, the potential for our greatest innovations to turn against us. This cautionary tale about machine autonomy, human subjugation. That conversation has only grown more urgent today, with real-world AI advancements prompting debates about control, ethics, humanity's future.
And finally, a huge part of its enduring power is that archetypal structure, right? How Neo so clearly mirrors the Messiah archetype.
Unmistakable and intentional.
His death and resurrection especially parallels savior figures.
Right. The film deliberately integrates elements of classic messianic narratives, reinforces Neo's role as liberator, redeemer, his death by Smith, his rebirth with amplified powers. It's a powerful metaphor for spiritual awakening, triumph of faith, mastery over illusion. Blending that ancient spiritual story with cutting-edge sci-fi allows it to tap into deeply resonant human beliefs about purpose, sacrifice, salvation, an ancient story through a modern, groundbreaking lens. Timeless.
So after this deep dive, what does it all mean? Why are we still talking about this film today, over 2 decades later, with such intensity?
Because The Matrix was revolutionary, a true turning point in cinema history. Immense critical acclaim, won 4 Oscars.
Visual effects, editing, sound design.
Right, transported audiences. But it wasn't just critically acclaimed, it fundamentally altered filmmaking, audience expectations, introduced concepts like bullet time as a new way to see time and motion in action, redefined action cinematography. Filmmakers are still building on it.
And beyond the tech.
Beyond the tech, it launched this global cultural and philosophical conversation: simulation, reality, control versus freedom, identity in a digital age. Its questions remain incredibly relevant. It's a film that keeps provoking thought, inspiring discussion, revealing new layers. It challenges us to stay vigilant, always asking, is this truly real?
That's exactly why it sticks with you, why it resonates. It's so much more than just sci-fi action. It's cerebral, stylistic, profoundly emotional, exploring what it means to be awake in a world designed to keep you asleep. It forces you to look at your own life and wonder.
It encourages us to constantly look beyond the surface, question assumptions, consider the profound, sometimes unsettling implications of what we perceive as reality, and how much of it is truly our own.
So after diving so deep into these layers of illusion and truth in The Matrix, it leaves you with that powerful, echoing question, doesn't it? If you were given the choice, knowing everything you know now, what color pill would you truly take?
It's a choice we all face, really, in various forms, every single day: the comfort of illusion or the sometimes painful path to truth.